Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cheesy Duo, the show where two dudes talk about cheese. We're coming here feeling Gouda, and we hope you have a great day. God, that was so dumb. That was so dumb. We're keeping it. God, that was so dumb.
All right. Kombucha. Your thoughts?
Love it. Buy it every time I'm at the store.
You for real?
Yeah.
What is kombucha?
It is tea, usually green and black mixed together, and then fermented with probiotics and healthy bacteria. It's like for gut health stuff.
What does it taste like?
Imagine well, the thing is, it really varies. Some brands kind of go for a kind of like cheap, but not like cheap taste, where it's like some of them are real kind of watery, and there's not a terrible vinegar taste, but some of them have like a really intense like vinegary taste from like the fermentation. And so it kind of depends. My favorite brand is called Synergy, and they make a couple of really good flavors. They make a guava flavor I like a lot. They make they have a flavor that I don't exactly know what it's supposed to be, but it's called Trilogy. And it's really good. It's like it's 3 flavors mixed together, but I don't remember. And the other brand I drink all the time is Calvita. I think is what it's called. Cavita, maybe. But
Health Aid? What?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
It's called Health Aid?
Well, I know Health Aid too, but Health Aid's a little different. But it really just depends on the flavor you're going for, because it kind of seems like when the people who make them will make them in like kind of the same general flavor, right? You won't normally see like a brand that's got like one that's like, Gaia apple, and then one that's like ginger root. Usually it's different companies do different flavors like that. But I love kombucha, and another good kind of side product to kombucha is like probiotic soda. Having IBS, I drink a lot of stuff that can help me with all that. But the probiotic soda, there's one called Lollipop, and they make everything. They make a root beer, a cola. They make a Dr. Pepper knockoff. They make a Sprite knockoff. They make orange soda, grape soda. So I've always liked them, but they have a little too much sugar for me.
Like the probiotic shot kind of thing.
No, it's like a regular like sized can of soda.
Oh, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. But
have you ever had one of those?
No, I hear that they can be a little intense, and again, having IBS, I worry about the after effects.
Facts. That makes sense. I don't know. They've always interested me. Just looking at them, I don't know how much they actually help. I don't know if they're just scams. I don't really care. That's Noah drinks a lot of kombucha, and I'm like, interesting, but also Noah's farts are lethal. And last week he was like, they're getting worse. I legitimately told him if he farted next to me at D&D, I'd punch him in the face. And he proceeded to hold it in the entire time.
Lord.
I'm like, you can't do that. We had a lot of food at the table. If you fart next to me while I am eating food, this fist is going in your face.
No, but I feel
with
that.
Love.
Of course. That definitely can be potentially a side effect of what's it called? The kombucha. For sure. I mean, it kind of depends on how much he's drinking. If he's drinking like 1 bottle of it a day, that's probably not the end of the world. If he's drinking like 4 bottles a day, then maybe that does.
I don't think he drinks it that often, but I know he does drink it.
I doubt that's the cause. Then should probably go see a gastrointestinal like doctor.
That boy needs it, dude. That boy needs it. Boy be like, I swear, if there's like a bug in the vicinity, it just dies on impact. On sniff, it's just it's just dead.
God.
Let's see here. No, but
Jacob.
okay. Let me ask you this: what are your thoughts on charcuterie boards.
I do love me some charcuterie boards. I actually really like charcuterie trays because like I'm big into, I guess, not, it's like it very much differs, but occasionally I hit the mood where I kind of just want like girl dinner, you know what I mean? And it's like, I want to slap some pieces of salami, a couple pieces of cheese, maybe make a thing of toast, and then just kind of nibble at all of it for dinner.
As opposed to boy dinner, which is literally just a bunch of testosterone vials in milk.
mixed with some pre-workout.
Mixed with pre-workout and protein powder. Which is, honestly, that sounds god-awful, and you would probably die on the spot.
Yeah, I don't know how well your heart would handle that.
You would pass immediately. I feel like the thought of it might just off you right there.
No, but yeah, I really like charcuterie boards. I love like snacky spreads like that, especially if they include like olives or like sometimes like they'll have like little pickles in there. I'll fuck all that up.
As a lifelong fan of bread and a new fan of cheese and peppered salami, I am also a fan of charcuterie. And when I tell you last weekend I didn't plan on eating anything, because we record episodes in advance, last weekend for me was our Friendsgiving. So I wasn't planning on eating anything just because I knew what everyone was cooking wasn't something I wanted to eat. But someone brought fucking crackers, peppered salami, and cheese, and I swear, I was like, I folded immediately. As soon as it sat down in front of me, I was like, fuck. You brought something for me? And then
This is for me?
The leftovers of it, I actually took home and demolished that night.
No, I can imagine. Yeah, I'm real big on that. Olives are one of my favorite foods. So like anytime there's a place where like someone's like, oh, I'll put out some olives, it's like I just kind of stand by them and just eat them. The other thing I'm guilty of that to a lot of people is fruit. A lot of times my when we have like get-togethers at one of my family members' houses or something, they'll like cut up fruit and make like a little fruit tray, and it ain't like shitty fruit, you know what I mean? Like it ain't just like grapes and like some apple slices. It's like, they'll get like dragon fruit, mango, kiwi, sometimes papaya, guavas, you know what I mean? And so when they do that and they like chop it all up and put it out, I just kind of hover there like a gremlin, just kind of like,
yeah,
mine.
Yeah. But yeah, we're for D&D. It always happens like at least once a month. There will be, I'll message Noah or somebody. I'll be like, hey, you want to get some bread? You want to get some cheese? Let's go get some charcuterie stuff, dude. And we just roll up. This is not even like a new thing. Because when I say I'm a new lover of cheese, I just never fucked with cheese. Like actual cheese, like sure, like, I don't know, fucking Cheez-Its, but that's not like actual cheese.
Yeah.
But until I started playing D&D with the boys. But at the time, do you know what Aldi's is?
Yeah, we have a couple here.
You got Aldi's nuts over there? I'm just kidding. But for real.
I could.
Aldi's is like an Australian company.
I thought they were German.
Aldi's could be. I know in Australia they're more like a Walmart because they sell computer monitors.
That's fair.
But along those lines, a similar store that opened up nearby that isn't here anymore, sadly it closed down, was a Lidl. Do you know what a Lidl is?
Is it spelled how it sounds?
Lidl.
Oh, no. I've never heard of that.
Oh. Well, that's a German store. Definitely.
Fair.
It had opened up, and then it's from Germany. It had this massive, like, bread area. Dude, we would walk up into Lidl
Yeah.
on the way to D&D and just get fucking like baguettes and show up into our friend's garage. It's like sub 50 degrees, like Fahrenheit. We're sitting out there in a garage at like, I don't know, 40 degrees with a little tiny space heater that has the thermostat on it, just trying to get it at 50. And we're just like, we're not really bundled up, but we're all huddled at the table. And me and Noah are just sitting there breaking off pieces of bread, eating it. Like fucking gremlins.
I've definitely done that before. That's pretty solid, in my opinion. In fact, actually, you're talking about Cheez-Its. It's actually based on a UK food called Welsh rabbit or Welsh rarebit, depending on the place. And what it is it's like a thick cut loaf of bread. I don't know what the kind usually is, but a thick cut slice of bread. And then it's like a melted, cheesy, kind of baked like thing that goes on top of the bread. And yeah, I thought that I've never had that before, but it always looks really good. Also, I have confirmed Aldi's is from Essen, Germany, and it is currently split into two. This is what I was thinking about. It's split into two different companies. There's Aldi Sud, which I think means south, and then Nord, which I think means north. And so, let's see. Aldi Nord operates in Belgium, France, Luxembourg, Poland, Portugal, and Spain, as well as Western and Southern Germany. And then Aldi Sud operates in Australia, Austria, China, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Slovenia, Switzerland, United Kingdom, and United States. And then Aldi Nord also owns Trader Joe's, which is why they didn't bring Aldi Nord to America. Because Trader Joe's is basically Aldi Nord, whereas Aldi South is the real Aldi.
Well, I just want to take a second and say that Aldi's, you need to step up your fucking bakery game. Because Aldi's near
they don't
me
even
ain't
have
got
a
like
bakery for me.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you need to step it up because Lidl had a bakery and it was bomb. And every time you go in there, it was sold out. So there's an open space in the market. You need to hit that up.
I'm trying to find this thing you were talking about. A Lidl?
Yeah.
How do you spell it for me one more time?
Lidl. That's it.
Okay, here we go. I was hearing it with an E at the front. I thought you were saying a Lidl, not Lidl. So I was like, that's why I kept misspelling it.
Nah, but hit their products and just look at their
Hold on, fuck that. Look at this.
their bakery.
Look at the name of the fucking town this place is headquartered in. That's fucking great. I want to move to Bad Wimpfen. That's where I want to move to.
Bad Wimpfen. Look, their bakery, they made fresh apple turnovers. They got the butter croissant. They got the hazelnut croissant. And these croissants, like the apple turnover is $1. Butter croissant, 79 cents.
Hot damn.
It's like this shit was on God fire. A whole ciabatta loaf, $2.
You know what's really interesting?
What?
That you had one, and according to this... Oh, no, okay, there we go.
You were like, according to this, they don't go to America.
That's what I was going to say, that I found it. This is a very long list, so I was having trouble. I was like, I don't see it. Apparently, they still operate 177 stores in America.
Dude, it was bomb. You buy a pretzel, buy two, get one free. A pretzel's like 89 cents. Jesus Christ. Bring it back. Bring it back. I need it.
I'm gonna check. I'm not joining your fucking rewards thing, Lidl. You're not even near me. According to this one, let's say where the nearest Lidl would be to me. I gotta remember not to actually type with the number pad or I'll stop the recording. I know you can't find a nearby store. Just tell me the closest one. I'm planning a trip. Just come on. Just give me the nearest one. Well, that's upsetting. It says the nearest one to me is in
Georgia.
Yeah, there's one. Let's see. Oh, thank you for teaching me how to zoom on your fucking. I'm aware. Stop telling me that. Okay, yeah. Okay, if we go up here into Georgia, I see right here will be the closest. So yeah, there's one in Jonesboro, Georgia that I could get to. It's telling me though, because it's very confused by my question and the fact that I don't have a store near me, and it's like, we don't know where to take you. So it's telling me the closest one would be in North Chesterfield, Virginia.
Damn,
but
that's weird.
I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, no, it goes all the way up like the East Coast, stopping at like in Georgia. So
yeah, I'm looking at their specials. I wonder if I can, but now it's telling me the closest one is in Culpeper, Virginia. It really wants to make me go to Virginia. Their asparagus is expensive.
Expensive asparagus for expensive person. Ooh.
That's fair. Get it. You're worth it. They have a list on this thing that just says "Taste of France." But all it is like frozen pizzas.
I need to ask you another question.
Go ahead.
How do you feel about bagels?
I'm not the biggest fan.
Okay, bagels are trash.
I think bagels are good in one context, and that is they are covered in so much topping that you cannot taste bagel. And then the other context is if they're really well made, you can make a good breakfast sandwich out of them. But even then, you got to be careful because of the holes in the middle. You'll get your hands all saucy or whatever.
I agree with they're only good they're not good on their own. They are a method of transport for the good shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just don't agree with that. I think bread can be really good on its own. It doesn't need to be a method of transport. It is lackluster. New Yorkers, come at me.
I've seen a lot of knockoff, like, store brand, right, of a lot of brands. But Lidl has a knockoff of the beer Blue Moon.
Really?
It's called Blue Key. And it's got almost the exact same box and everything. But I think that's really weird. Interesting. I like Blue Moon. I've never seen somebody knock off Blue Moon. That's like knocking off PBR or something.
Why would you
come get Jack's Green ribbon? Jack's Green participation medal.
Okay, if you had to go get like an artesian loaf of bread, what kind of bread would you go get? Any kind of special bread?
Yeah. Well, it kind of depends. I think that me and bread, it's far more about its pliability and like dip ability. You know what I mean? Like, to how easy is it for me to tear this loaf apart, because I'm probably too lazy to use a knife if I'm just snacking on it, and also how well, like, if I dip it in, does it, like, to some olive oil or something, right? Like, maybe make some, like, rosemary olive oil to dip it in. If I dip it in, will it actually, like, soak the bread? Because some breads are so, like, hard that even if you soak them, they don't get, like, I don't want it to get soggy, but it's like, I don't want it to be, like, dripping off a piece of concrete bread.
I love, because at Food Line, you can just get a rosemary olive oil loaf of bread.
Yeah, you can get something like that here at Publix, yeah. And I love that shit.
That. Oh, dude, that shit slaps.
Asiago you can get that at
bread
Lidl, too.
Slaps really good, too.
Oh, now look at this. Now, this is, I fuck so hard I'm gonna try to say it, but this, holy shit, if you've never had anything like this, I love this stuff.
I had one of those. I fucking hate it.
That's fair. I love roasted tomatoes. I love roasted tomatoes so much.
I hate tomatoes.
That's fair.
That's why I don't eat pizza. I don't like the tomato sauce.
That's fair.
I think we talked about this at one point.
I'm sure we did. Yeah, I'm sure. We haven't made enough episodes of this for us to be forgetting what we've already talked about.
We're just forgetful. It's all right.
Episode 14, we're going to talk to you about our favorite games of 2024 and also about a cool grill I found at Wayfair.
Didn't they talk about that last episode?
I like how I was trying to be funny at the intro to that, and I was trying to, like, start it off with, like, I've got this, because I was making the joke off you getting so frustrated that I wouldn't stop talking about it last week, or week before last. But, like, you were just so stone-faced. I was just like, oh.
I was having those PTSD moment. I was like, don't fucking do this to me.
It's like, please tell me you're not actually going to start reading about it. I'm going to let him go until he starts reading about it.
If he starts reading about it, we're going to have problems.
Apparently at Lidl you could buy mini frozen mini shrimp tacos.
What?
Sounds interesting. You can buy frozen mini shrimp tacos at Lidl, whatever it's how it's pronounced.
Do you think shrimp is a charcuterie object?
I think it can be, yeah. If made right. I think like if you have like a big charcuterie tray and then you just put like a shrimp cocktail in the middle, right? With like the sauce in the cup and then the shrimp just hang off. That can be charcuterie. I mean, if a bunch of salami can be charcuterie, how can shrimp not be charcuterie?
Well, the reason why I ask is because I a year ago or whatever, a year or two ago, might have been 2 now, when Lidl was still open, like before it closed, we went in there for like one final charcuterie night with all of Lidl shit. And so everyone went there and grabbed something. And me and Khaled walked in, and I got an energy drink, got bread, got cheese, got salami. And we walk by and we pause and we just look at the shrimp and then we leave. But then someone else got that same thing of shrimp and brought it to the table, and no one touched it. No one ate it. And it was like, since it was in a fridge, it had like condensation on it. Yeah. And so it's just like, we pick it up and we move it. But if you looked under the table, because it's almost like the table was made of like pallets. Yeah. From where the condensation like dripped off, there was just a big puddle under the table of shrimp water, and I'm like, ew, that's nasty, dude.
No, that sounds disgusting.
I agree. It was disgusting.
Speaking of snack seafood, how do you feel about canned fish? Whether it's like herrings or sardines or
I don't eat
like
fish.
That? Oh man, I love canned fish so much. Especially there's one brand, I think it's not called Old Bay, that's a seasoning. But it's called something. They have like a picture of a lighthouse. No, they have a picture of a lighthouse on their cans, but they make packaged herring with Louisiana hot sauce. Like that's the sauce it's like preserved in. It's so fucking good, man. Do you like sushi at all? Or I guess not.
Nope, I don't. I don't eat fish. The closest I get to anything from the sea is fried shrimp.
I mean, that's
fried
fair,
popcorn shrimp. But other than that, I just don't like it. Like I sit on the line of fish. Like I haven't eaten really good fish, right? I'm sure it probably would change it. I'm not going to do it, though. But this is how on the fence I am about it. Because it's not like I really hate it. But it's just like I don't like it. That when I went to a Golden Corral, right? We were going to another state for something. I think for fireworks. And we stopped at a Golden Corral. And go in. And it looked like chicken tenders. Like it was fried fish. It was fried fish, but it looked like a chicken tender. So I got one mistakenly. And I bite into it. And immediately I'm like, this texture
is not a
is
chicken
weird.
tender.
I'm like, this texture is weird. It's not bad. It just doesn't have any flavor. And I looked at Noah and I go, try this. That's not chicken, is it? And he bites it. He's like, nah, it's fish. And I'm like, cool, you can keep that. And I just leave. I just get up and walk. I come back. My friends always make fun of me because I don't like sauce. I don't like sauce. I'm not like, I like oils like you do, right?
Yeah.
Putting oil and stuff. But I don't like ketchup. I don't like mustard. I don't like that shit.
I feel you.
But so I can eat the most dry food and it doesn't bother me at all. Like Noah will be like, dude, how can you just sit there and eat a roll of saltine crackers without drinking anything? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just used to it. But I came back and Golden Corral biscuits, dry as fuck.
Yeah.
I literally came back with French fries, bacon strips, and like 3 biscuits and just piled the French fries and bacon strips on the biscuits and like put salt on it. And ate it, and they're just looking at me in horror as I'm just like, they're like, all of that food was dry. The bacon didn't even have oil on it. What are you doing?
No, I feel that.
I'm just like, I'm just trying to live, man.
No, I feel that. There are some sauces I fuck with, and then there's some sauces that I fuck with, but only in specific ways. And I know we've talked about all this before, so I'm not going to get deep into it, but it's like, mustard, for instance, I like yellow mustard okay, but if I have my choice, I'm going to buy like a real strong like Irish mustard or something, or if like or like Grey Poupon or something. And I was like, I like mayonnaise, but I like mayonnaise usually that's got like some olive oil in it and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like, it can kind of depend. I don't like ketchup, and I don't like most like pre-packaged barbecue sauces. I love hot sauce though. And also, just on a real side note, and maybe in the video, Jacob will pop this up for y'all to play at home. Click this link and do your absolute best not to read the giant label on the bottle. And I want you to play a little game with me. I want you to tell me, is this a bottle of oil or orange juice?
A bottle of oil or orange juice?
Mm-hmm. Don't look at the big old label. Just look at the actual stuff. That looks like orange juice. That looks like a carton of orange juice.
Yeah, it does. But I think if you held it in real life, it probably wouldn't.
No, I imagine not. But it definitely looks like someone just slapped the word canola oil on orange juice.
I will say mustard apparently helps with cramps a lot.
I don't know. I believe it.
Well, I know for a fact it does.
Fair.
Because a girl I know will, like, when they're on their time of the month or whatever, they will literally, like, just drink mustard whenever they're getting cramps and they just go away. And there are a lot of females that drink mustard, which is surprising to me because I was like, I looked at her, I was like, that's a little weird. But then as time went on, it's like once you know the secret that they drink mustard, you find more people that drink mustard. It's like you have to be indoctrinated. But then the doors open, you're like, holy shit, it was more than just you that do this.
Man,
there's also,
I feel that though.
There's I was about to say famous in like Twitch terms, and YouTube terms. There's a person on YouTube and Twitch named Yvonne. She drinks mustard. She keeps mustard at her desk. It's like a meme at this point. Because everyone's like, you're the mustard girl. But I'm like, no, that's not as bad as people think it is. Back to you said canned fish. Listen, Noah is the equivalent to like a vacuum when it comes to random food stuff. And we're like complete opposites. Whereas he will try and eat anything. I will look at something, and if it looks vaguely off to me, I won't do it. I won't touch it.
I will literally try anything. Like, as long as I don't think it will hurt me, I will at least take a bite of it.
Well, on the way to D&D, we had stopped at Lidl. We gotten our baguettes, but then we also stopped at like a dollar store.
That's fair.
And he walks over to the can section. He looks, and there's like canned bologna. And
Fair.
I'm like, don't do it, Noah. You're going to hate yourself. And he's like, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. He's like, I'm doing it. I got to try it at least once. And he takes it. And obviously we get to D&D. And halfway through, he just slowly pulls up the can of canned bologna and starts using a fork to eat it and put it on bread. The next day, he was like, dude, my stomach was so upset. And I'm like, I fucking bet. I bet it was.
No, yes, I definitely feel that. I have a not similar story, but I one time, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but you know what Spam is, of course, right?
Yeah. I don't think Spam's as bad.
No, but they make there's a completely different product that just is packaged like it called corned beef, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know you were supposed to, like, it's fully cooked. It's safe to eat out of the can, but I didn't know you were supposed to cook it. Like, you're supposed to fry it up in some way, and I did not know that. And so I opened the can, and I got through like half of it, and then I turned to my girlfriend at the time. I was like, "This is so nasty," and she was like, "Have you just been eating that raw?"
You've just been raw dogging corned beef?
She's like, "I did not." She was like, "I did not know that's what you were eating this whole time." It's like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I messed up. Spam is really big in Hawaii because they make like spam wasubi, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
masubi, whatever. Damn it! I had something to talk about, but now I've forgotten.
Ooh, if anybody wants to,
oh,
go ahead.
Because we didn't say it before, this episode.
Also, because we didn't say it before, did we ever intro this episode?
Oh, shit. Fuck. Go
33
ahead.
minutes in.
Lead us
Thank
off.
you. Welcome, everybody, to the second half of the Fluffy Biscuits podcast. My name is Zach, at Pixelated Trash. You can find me, and you can find Jacob there, at Nazir TL, my wonderful friend and co-host. And we are obviously today discussing food, and you might have noticed that food is becoming a bit of a topic on the show. We have discussed it in many episodes, and there's two prime reasons for that. Jacob has obviously been dieting very hard and doing a lot of working out and a lot of macro building, so he's got a lot more nose in the game of being interested in food. And I am a garbage can that eats everything and is very happy about it. When I wake up at 3 a.m. to like go get some water and I see that I'm not out of olives, I will crush some still. It's like I'll throw some in my mouth.
Just like, damn, them olives looking pretty good right now.
Exactly. It's like I'll open the fridge and be like, I wonder if I got any juice. And it's like, I don't have juice, I'll get water. But it's like, but I got some olives. I'll get some olives first.
Leading into this, the reason why I was talking about food to begin with is, of course, I was talking about bread, cheese, whatever. That wasn't the point. I was originally meant to lead in with we just recorded a video at the time of recording this. I've at least recorded my part of the video.
I didn't, but that's okay. I can explain why either now or off camera, but I did not get my portion of the video done.
The thing that basically it's a cooking video where it's essentially a shitty cooking where we're just fucking around trying to cook something edible. And off rip, no recipe for me. I made biscuits yesterday. And hopefully that video comes out before this, so it's not a spoiler at all. I made biscuits, and I had to make some buttermilk, and I kind of raw dogged it with the buttermilk as well. Off rip, I was like, I don't have buttermilk, so I'm gonna put this milk in this cup and mix it with some vinegar because that's how you make buttermilk. And it was on point. And I have two things here. One, I made that with expired milk. I didn't point it out in the video because I didn't want to draw attention to that the milk was expired.
I really hope it's like I didn't want to draw attention to it, and then in the video you pour, and it's just
No. I was like, this thing is maybe 5 minutes away from being unusable. Literally, I smelled it, and I gave it the taste test, and I was like, ugh. And then I was like...
and then you still used it.
I did still use it. I was like, that's just going to get baked out. It's all right. It's okay.
Oh, man.
I'm still alive, ain't I? I'm still alive.
Tangentially, you are. We don't know what's going on inside of you right now, though.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They turned out good. They were like some of the best biscuits I've ever made. My cat loves biscuits and bread, surprisingly, but she did not want any of these biscuits, and I can only
She probably
assume...
smelled the milk.
That's what
She got up to it and smelled it, and she was like, the fuck? What are you doing?
The fuck did you do to these? You trying to poison me? Oh, shit, there's another thing. Okay. Well, I do kind of want you to say why you haven't recorded it yet, because...
So, I had two reasons. One, money was tighter this weekend than I thought it would, and while I have money to spend, I just didn't want to spend most of my money, because I don't want to do something... I want to do something funny, but I don't want to do something that's, like, really simple, because I wanted it to be, like, more interesting. And so, you know, I never did that, and then also, I really just haven't had a whole lot of time. I was off kind of yesterday, but even then I was kind of bouncing around all day, so around the city. So I had less time than I thought. And then honestly, until yesterday morning, I had forgotten about this, and I was going to do it potentially tonight. But then also, I'm buying a game for you and I to stream together. So that's taking precedence first.
Well, maybe you can film it sometime throughout the week. It doesn't have to be anything special. You know what I mean?
No, I feel that. No, I'll get paid on Monday, and I'll get something done for us. I just got to get... I just didn't have my shit in order like I needed to.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't even have to be anything crazy. It could be something simple. As long as, you know, you're going to eat it afterwards. It's going. It's not going to be wasted or anything. Unless you fuck it up and you don't know what you're doing. You somehow mess it up.
It's a strong possibility.
Strong possibility. To be fair, I thought we had regular milk. That was not expired. Not expired. But then I was like, I've already committed to the bit. Either I'm gonna have to use water,
or die. I see the choice you made.
And I chose I'm gonna fuck around and find out. And I found out it did not kill me. So,
God, that's...
I waited to tell you that because I sent you the picture of the biscuits and they looked pretty good, didn't they?
Yeah, they look good.
They didn't look terrible. I will say I didn't actually knead the dough like you do a biscuit. I ended up holding it in my hands and like folding it into itself because I also did not have baking powder. I only had baking soda, so I just winged it with the amount of baking soda, and then I was like, well, that's a half a leavener right there. That'll be fine. But there's also so much butter in it. If I just fold it like they do with croissants, it'll rise, and it worked. Except for like two of them came out like puff pastries and not biscuits.
That was close enough.
Oh, immediately after that as well, I was vacuuming, right? And so, fun fact about me. I think I mentioned it before, previous episode. A lot of my high school life was spent
in a vacuum.
In agriculture. No.
Oh.
In an agriculture class. Not because I'm super into agriculture. It's only because I found it interesting. More interesting than other, like, classes that you could choose or whatever, other than like, you know, math, English, whatever. And I knew that I could pass any agriculture class with minimal effort.
Yeah, I feel that.
But one of the things that they said offhand in two classes, because I had them like every year. I had like 2 ag classes every year of high school, and they were different ones. Is that Okay, you know that thing where if you smell toast, you're having a stroke kind of thing? Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, something you might not know is that the pheromones given off by like a dangerous reptile when they're like they think they're in danger, smells like cucumbers.
That's interesting. I don't know what I'm going to do with that knowledge, but I'll store it for a little bit. What
you do with this knowledge is that, for instance, yesterday I was vacuuming. But I'm vacuuming near my fireplace, and I'm like that. We had just bought new things of like new logs of wood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put it over there. Obviously, I'm still here. I'm not dead, so
Yes,
I didn't find anything that was going to kill me. But I have a cat, and my cat has been declawed. I didn't fight for that. It's just that she was with other animals that, like pugs. The pugs' eyes pop out. And if they got cat swiped in the face, their eyes would get torn out. So it wasn't my choice to declaw my cat. I will have that note. But my cat cannot fight. She's a little baby. She can't fight no snake. I won't go put that there. Or any reptile. I wouldn't put her there. But I'm vacuuming, and immediately the smell of cucumbers it literally fills the room, and I'm like, I just look around, and at first my mind went, am I having a stroke? And I was like, no, that's toast. That's different. I feel like I know this. This happened within like 5 seconds. Is a stroke? No. Oh shit. And I just like dropped the vacuum. And I assumed like the fighting stance of like a Street Fighter character. Because in my mind, at least if I'm in a stance, wherever it hits me, if like a snake bites me right now, I can rip that bitch out of me. I am no longer encumbered by the vacuum. And it was just interesting because I didn't find it. I searched the whole room, and my thought process was, well, maybe it was like a snake was hibernating in these wood logs that we bought for the fireplace. Second thought process was, oh, well, my father was burning logs the other day, maybe, or like yesterday, at the time of when this happened, maybe if a snake was still moving about right now because it's not that cold yet, it saw the fireplace as a warm spot, and so it is over there. And who knows? Maybe it's under the house. Maybe it's in the attic. I don't fucking know. But I go to D&D. I didn't see the snake. Cat's safe. Cool. Go to D&D. I'm explaining this story to them, and they're all looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. They're like,
that's fair.
They're like, what do you fucking mean you smelled cucumbers and then you thought there was a poisonous animal? I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's a real thing. And they Google it, and they're like, well, I'll be damned. It's a real thing. If a poisonous reptile, it feels threatened, you'll like, their pheromones of like fear or whatever smell like cucumbers, and they're like, holy shit, good to know.
He swooping in to save the day.
So Zach, since you live near areas that are swampy in the summertime, if you smell cucumbers, that means that maybe a copperhead or a rattlesnake or some poisonous snake or reptile is near you, and you scared the shit out of it, and you should run.
Well, it's actually really funny because, see, I bypass that by never leaving my house. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I thought I bypassed that too until I smelled it in my house. And we've never bought cucumbers. I know that for a fact.
I feel you, though.
It became a meme of what if someone broke into my house and just left a cucumber there? It's like, what?
I'm just going to put this right here. Anyway, later, fucker.
Cucumber bandit.
God.
Do you have any weird stories where you thought your life was in danger?
Honestly, this is gonna sound a little pretentious. I try, and I have tried my whole life to kind of just keep myself out of, those kind of situations, to maybe a little bit too far of a degree, like turning down people when I was in college because I didn't want to end up in a bad situation. You know what I mean? And and not because I didn't trust them or anything. I'm just paranoid. But it's like, that was always kind of me. Is like, I'm just kind of existing. Please don't notice I'm here.
I've been in multiple, but I'm not going to tell them all here. I'm gonna spread those out through the course of the episodes.
Probably, car wrecks. Probably the only time I've really been like, shit. You know what I mean? Well, because I've had 2 wrecks, and one was entirely my fault, and one was not my fault. One, I was 18, and I just got my license, and I was driving, and I've sworn to this day my light was green. Lady that I hit said it wasn't, but she didn't do anything about it. So, and also, I think I don't know if I told this story on the podcast, but I think I've told you this story, but she also helped me out a lot because she was crazy racist to the black cop that showed up, and was like demanding to speak to a white cop and stuff.
That's
it was wild. But so she helped me a lot.
Wait,
there
it
too.
helped you out because the cop was on your side?
Well, because she wouldn't work with him. Like, she wouldn't answer his questions or talk to him. And so what happened was, there was a major... In fact, I actually live within a 5-minute walk of this intersection now. There's an intersection, and I was going... My light was green, and I don't know what she was doing. My thinking is, my light had just turned green. I don't know if she had, looked down when she had a turn light or something, right? Because the streets in the city are not... or the street lights in the city are not properly
synced.
Well, yeah, I guess that's how you'd say it. And I guess it not synced, but they're not synced with each other very well. And one thing a lot of the street lights will do is, some street lights will go turn lane, green light, traffic goes. Other streets will go red and then turn lane and then red. So it's like, it's a 4-lane street, 2 turn lanes. They'll get a green light, and then the other 2 lanes will get a green light. But then sometimes those 2 turn lanes will get in different parts of the city, not the same street lights, of course. But sometimes in other parts, it'll be, these get to turn, and then it's red for you again. And it's really weird. I don't understand it. Anyway, so I think maybe she had gotten it went red, and then she got the turn signal, but then lost it and tried to go. And anyway, so I slammed into the side of her and totaled my Jeep. And then the other time I had a wreck, ironically in a different Jeep, it was raining, and I didn't have tread on one of my tires, and I didn't realize. And I turned out of my neighborhood, and as I did, I just skidded. And so I turned sideways, and then I was in the other lane, and there was a car coming. So the only thing I knew to do was just yank myself into the ditch. And so I did that, and I had to deal with the whole car just but luckily I didn't roll it, which was a distinct possibility. But also I would have rather gone into the ditch than hit that person head on.
I've been in many car crashes. None of the time I was driving. I've never caused or been in one where I was driving, but I've been in many where I was just a passenger.
I feel that. Do you drive?
I have a driver's license. I do drive. I just don't drive everywhere because I have nowhere to be. What?
I said I knew you had a license. I just didn't know if you actively drove really, because
I drive. I'll drive up here to the store. I'll drive, to some people's houses that are close by. I'm not I don't have a current form of stable income to be paying for gas all the time.
That part's fair, yeah.
I felt if I did have that, then I would drive more often. But my friends are nice enough to come get me.
Yeah, that's always solid. No, I feel that. I didn't get my driver's license till I was 18. I wasn't ever scared of it. I just really didn't care at first. It was kind of I don't know. I guess I was like working through my own shit. Just kind of like, I'll get to it eventually. I know I need to learn. I'll figure it out. But it's
I waited till I was. Okay, there's a certain, I forget what age it is, but you know when you're in high school, you have to take like the driving test where you're side by side with someone and they're like a driver instructor. Like if you were going to get your license when you're that age, I waited until the age where I didn't have to do that.
That's fair.
So I just had to like take the test where the person was beside me.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I didn't have to spend like a certain amount of hours. I literally, like, of course I still practice driving, but I didn't want to have to do it with a fucking instructor who I didn't know. And I didn't.
You know, I'm gonna say it's actually really funny. I did that. I did a full course of driving school at 16, and then still just was like, I don't want to fool with it right now.
Well, I did the driver's ed, like, actual teacher thing, but not the in the car. But I find it funny because this, going back to that test was just like around the block, and it was very interesting because we sat in like the red light waiting, and me and this person both knew this particular red light was it's broken. It has to be, because we sat there for like 5 minutes and the lights in front of us just kept going green, just like going from one to the other, just skipping us multiple times until the driver instructor was like, "Yeah, I know you're not in the lane to do it, but just fuck it, turn right." just turn right and go that way. And I'm like,
that actually happened to me recently with Uber. There's two street lights that are fucked here that are on pretty busy roads. One, what it'll do is you'll be coming up to it and it'll count down to like yellow, red, right? Yeah. And then the minute it hits red, it'll go back to green and it'll stay green for a bit. And then the other super fucky one is sometimes while it's green, it'll just like flicker to red and then back to green. It's like, it'll just be like a real fast like flicker. It's a nightmare dealing with all that. And yeah, man, especially some of the smaller towns, like outside of the city limits here, when I'm Ubering, I'll get somewhere where I, like you said, I sit there for like 5 minutes waiting for a fucking light to change. And it's like, yeah, and you'll see just like, it'll be green and then they'll get a turn signal and the turn signal will go away and they'll stay green, but then you just don't get to go.
Makes sense. My jaw. Okay, can you move your jaw and like click it? Like make it click?
Like pop, you mean?
Yeah, like right here, you just make it pop like up here.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened to me before.
Okay. Well, I can just do that normally. And at the moment, the reason why I'm like sitting here doing this is because now it's like stuck in a position that hurts.
I feel that.
Which happens abnormally a lot. It fucks with me. I'm just like, fuck.
Well, the good news for you is that we're basically at the end of the episode.
Yay! At least now I can go punch myself in the face.
And you know what? Before we sign off again, and before you go off and cause physical violence to yourself, I think we need a sign off. And I think today I'm going to leave you with a recipe to try off the website for Little that I've been on this entire episode reading.
I've seen it in your glasses, by the way. You just scrolling.
Yeah, but I saw one up here and I need to get back to it. So before I get to it, thank you all so much for watching. This is the Fluffy Biscuits podcast. Again, I am Zach at Pixelated Trash, and that is Jacob at NazirTL. You can also find Jacob on other social medias under the name at NazirTL. And we have a Twitter for both Jacob and the Fluffy Biscuits podcast that is also at the Fluffy Biscuits podcast. If you watch this on YouTube and you want to see more or hear more, go check us out on Spotify, the Fluffy Biscuits podcast. And if you listened to this on Spotify and you want to watch more, go over to YouTube and you can watch at the Fluffy Biscuits podcast. And as I leave you, I want you all to try pesto pasta salad with avocado and chicken. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.